Hello all and welcome back. Monday Night Football, Championship Manager 3, Season 4, Ipswich Town versus Man United. Man United have lost the Charity Shield. We're the only two teams left to play, so will we manage to climb to the top of the table because there's been very few wins, or will we get a resounding defeat and already go bottom? Norwich got beat by Arsenal 1-0. Palencia didn't even play, so that was who the opening fixture was. And Arsenal have accepted the loan offer for Frederick Lundberg from Brentford. Brentford, Division 2. Lundberg, decent stats, £6.25 million, 14,000 a week. Could be off to Brentford. Interested to see how that plays out as we go forward. Let's have a look at the team here. We're just going to check our news. Dominic Riley is back. He's a youth player, so he will not be in contention. So, issues: Mullins suspended, Keats suspended, Wilson out, Laurie out. Clean bill of health for everyone else. Tidied up the squad a little bit. We are going with right in goal, Hupia, Warner, and then Stefan Delou, Robertson and Clement. So that's the only... Well, one of the changes, we'll get to that in a second. Holland has come into midfield due to those suspensions. Peter Rudy is starting and is also captain. Gerrard, you might have spotted this on the last episode. He has now lost his attacking midfield status because we've taken him off the training. And then we are going with the front line of Hughes and Collymore, leaving us the bench of Kunde, Ramirez Luna, John Hartson, Scott Parker and Shay Given. So quite an attacking bench. I said in the preview before I was looking forward to the 7 subs, but it's 5. But 5 is still more than 3. So, I'm pretty pleased with that. Man United, past meeting 0, Premier League champions from last year. Let us get to it. Thank you for everyone who helped us get to this part. Monday the 20th of August 2001. We're going to go fast for this game and see how we get on versus the best team in the Premiership by a considerable distance last year. Let's see what they're playing. They're playing the defensive counter. We've had problems with this before. They've got Neville Brothers. Which Ball is this? Michael Ball. Well, he's decent, isn't he? They've got Neil Sullivan in goal, who I mentioned in the last episode. Handling 18, reflexes 15. They paid 5.5 million for him, not 6.5. Solskjaer's on the bench. They've got Gary Breen, Jordi Lardine, Andy Gorham. Why do they have Andy Gorham? How has this happened? This is crazy. Johnson, Keane, Giggs, and Scholes. So it's Seth Johnson, isn't it? I was going to say, who is the other one? Because they've got Seth and Ronnie. And then Freddie Bobic is there. Look, it's a decent bench, isn't it? Other than the randomness of Andy Gorham. So let's get back to the game. You know what we're playing because you saw it before, but it's our system with the wing backs, and nothing has happened 12 minutes in. I feel like that's pretty good. Richard Wright with a save from Dwight York. Giggs moves in and goal, and he's starting to score. This system, isn't it? This system that teams play. What are we? I'm trying to think what's worked against it before. I'm thinking we might have to go long ball. How good is Giggs? That's not easy to say. I mean, he's pretty decent, isn't he? What did he get last year? 14 goals, presumably from a similar role or out wide. Hughes looking for Collymore. Collymore had very little space to work with, and we have had a shot on goal, but it's not been on target. So I'm interested to see how Richard Wright does in this next league up, because he's obviously got the stats for it, and he kept us in so many games last year. But let's see how he can do against greater opposition, against the likes of Dwight York, Giggs, Freddie Bobic if he comes on. Now at half-time, I'm not dissatisfied with this. This is not great. We are going to try going long. I'm going to try counter-attacking. I don't think I've ever even put this on, but and we're going to leave it a little bit Then we're going to get a change on. Stan Collymore. It's in the back of the net. Stan Collymore is the scorer. He's scored on his debut. It's his first ever goal for Ipswich. And he was in danger of going off. But now he's got as the equaliser. I think Hughes might be getting switched off then. Let's give John 30 minutes. Just over 30 minutes. So on you come, John. Off you go, Lee. I'm tempted. Do you know what? I'm going to take Gerrard off for the time being. I'm going to push him back. So, Ramirez, Luna and Hartson on. Now, I feel like if we held this 1-1 win with the champions, that'd be, I know we're at home, that'd be a huge statement, a huge marker for our intent. Now, obviously, there's a long way to go, especially as a lovely move by Man United and Giggs has added his second. Now, we've got one more change if we want it. Let's see how Rudy is doing. Excellent tackle. He'd fallen out of favour a bit, Dalu, so it's good to see him come in. Yeah, Rudy's having a stinker. Let's get Parker on for his debut. See if this can help us. Let's go back to what was working when we scored. Right, final whistle, opening day defeat. Collymore with a goal. Giggs has added 2 for them. So it was 1-1. We were getting a point for a while. Much better second half. Richard Wright's rating has dropped a tiny bit. But, you know, we've rebounded there. Quite a few debuts in there. So, look, Parker, Collymore, Rudy, Hoppier. Our season is not defined, though, on whether we win against Man United. So we've got games now versus Blackburn. I was going to say, I don't think we've played these, but we have. Look, we've played them in the Cup. Quick transition. Just, this is wondrous. Lundberg has decided to join Brentford. So Brentford, currently 18th in Division 2. Huddersfield, look, they have really fallen, haven't they? They were with us at one stage. And which Bridges is this? I was going to say, this is Michael. Look at this. How much money do they have? So you would hope that with Lundberg and Bridges, that they're going to start playing them over John Martin and whoever else they have in there. They've got Gary Bull. Is he fallen all the way down with them? He has, yeah. No, he's not. He's come from Scunthorpe. But you would hope that they're going to start doing a bit better than 18th. We are back. We have got the game versus Blackburn. Everything is unchanged except for Scally. Scally here, Andrew Scally, has come in on the left. Want to try and get him more involved this year. I was going to say, I think he's only played that one game where I fired him in when he was inexplicably, can't say that, where he was on like a 12 fitness. And I'm not being hyperbolic. I do mean it was like 12 or 14 or something incredibly low. So I put him on that side just because I don't want to put Carr in there. I don't want to move Clement across. And I've not got anyone else able to play on that left side currently without going into the reserves. And I'm not interested on doing that. But here we are. So got a few players out. But we've got Blackburn. We're going to keep this on fast. And then we'll go very fast for the final game. And Scally started with a 60-second booking, so maybe this is the wrong game to be throwing him in. Now let's have a check of Blackburn. What they're playing, they are playing the 4-4-2 diamond. I can see Damien Duff, McAteer, Glenn Little. Not familiar with him. Had a season at Sporting apparently. Who else have we got? Is that Matt Jansen? It is Matt Jansen. What a wonderful player he could be on this game. So need to be watching him. And then they've got Blake and Daniel Bamba from NEC. And then Marlon Brooms, that would looks like, because they didn't do the back line. Who have they got in goal? Kevin Miller, Perez, Saren Peya, Herman Haridason, and then Marlon Brooms. Now, we've opened here with games against people that we've played as. Played as Blackburn, Premier Manager 98 on the PlayStation 1, and we played as Man United, Premier Manager 99. So, two teams that we not only played as, but had success with. We won the FA Cup with Blackburn and got on the Champions League, and we won the Premier League with Manchester United on the final day. So feel free to go check that out if you're new to the channel. We're doing well here, though. I'm pleased with this. As long as Scally can hold his head and the experienced guys around him can stop him from doing anything stupid. If we can get to half-time, 11 men on the pitch, at least 0-0, if not better, then I'll be very pleased. Collymore strikes it with fury. So I was unsure on bringing in Collymore, just because of not wanting to be too desperate with a player that I worry will become unhappy quickly. But I felt like it was going to be difficult to bring in anyone with this level of stats. Because let's be honest, he's an upgrade on Palencia, at least raw stats-wise. I'm going to leave things as they are for the time being. I'm going to bring Gerrard back, drop him into that spot, tell him to push on. And I'm not sure whether I'm going to put him back on attacking midfielder training, because it did mean that he lost his midfield role. Perez with a block. Richie White can't hold on to that, but it's being cleared away. Now I'm going to give the front line a bit more time, I think. Now they've brought on Billy McKinley. We are going to bring on Hartson, and we're going to bring him on for Collymore, because this was the partnership that we had last year. And I'm going to bring... What we're going to do here... Rudy's on a 6 again, so that's not great. Hollins is on a 7. I am going to take him off. Just because I want so much more than that from Petter Rudy. Oh, fantastic save by Kevin Miller. Now, we're getting some chances. We're just not currently scored. Now, we've given a free kick away, and they have scored. Is that straight from the free kick? Surely the winning goal. What am I going to do here? Right. Let's get this on long. Hartson in the middle. Let's play Ramirez on for Gerrard. Gerrard just dropped down to a 5. So let's swatch them around. And that is frustrating. So we're looking at 0 points from the first 2 games, despite 2 stats-wise pretty decent performances. If we don't get a win in the 3rd game, or at least a point, I will start to get nervous. But there we go. Don't worry about getting a point in the next game. Let's get a point in this game. It's Ramirez Lunis. We have pushed him on, and he's grabbed us a goal. Completely underperformed last year compared to his first full season with us. But he has rescued us there. Look at this. Fired him up front. Ramirez Luna, one of the guys that we brought across. 40k from UNAM. 10 goals in the playoff promotion, the playoff final year. Only the 3 goals last year. But he has given us our first point of the Premier League. I know there's probably games tomorrow, but let's see where we are. So look, Arsenal running away with it. And if you offered me that now, I'd take that. Not very ambitious, but my goal is not to be in here. Chelsea are in there at the minute. That shows the difficulty of the league. If we could finish somewhere in here to here, I feel like that would be a massive success. Coming up, though, is Derby, who we've also never played. Let's have a look at their team before we get there. What were they playing last time? David James in goal. They've got Adrian Williams, who's come via Man United because he was on my watch list, formerly of Reading and Wolves in real life. Oh, they've got Nataka. They've got him on a free signing. What a signing that is. And they've got Rob Kozler. They've got Rob Kozler around him. Look, who's somehow only 24 on this game. That doesn't make sense to my brain. They've got Darius Vassell, and they've not used him yet. Just a little bit of attendance news and international selection news. So into Ipswich's attendance of 22,558 at home to Blackburn, the Premier League's a new record high. Interesting that was the game that people chose to turn up for rather than the visit of the champions. Huppier off to the Finland squad, Shay Given off to the Ireland squad. Gerrard has been called up to the England under-21s. Now, someone mentioned before about trying to pair him with Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard is at Aston Villa on this game, and he is unhappy. But at the minute, when I put in a bid for him, they were unwilling to sell him. Andy Johnson we've had on our watch list for a while, but he's not really developing in the way that I want. I am desperate, though, for another left-sided player. And we played against Alan Navarro in pre-season, and he wasn't terrible. Where's he come from? He's via Liverpool, isn't he? If his tackling was better, I'd be interested in him due to his versatility. But I'm not going to put it on my list for now, but I will be keeping an eye on him. So Rudy's off to the Norway squad. And then this is my second bid in for Alan. But at the minute, they're not budging on him. They're not budging. I'm not willing to spend any more money. So we're back. We've got 6th place Derby. It's our first ever meeting. They have just dispatched Bolton, who are now 3-1 in a midweek fixture, which is what has seen them move up to 6th place. We are in 15th. It's our first away game. Now, Robertson is back, so he could potentially come in. Let's take Skelly out. Did a good job there. I am keen to get Johnson on the bench because he had a decent, if you have a look at his stats here, he had a decent pre-season. So I'm just trying to think who I could move out for this. I am going to, despite his goal, I'm going to drop Collymore out. And I'm tempted, do you know what? Because of his goal, I'm going to bring Luna in because I want him on that role. We've got Keats back from his suspension, so I also want him on for Rudy. Is that the right spot? No, that is not the right spot. So I want Keats in his left-hand side. So there we go. Rudy's unlucky. Tell you what, I'm not going to drop him completely. Even with his slightly poor start, I'm going to keep him in. So there we go. That is more like the team that I want. I am going to take Cundy off, and I'm going to put Jarman on for the time being, because he was only there kind of ceremonially. I'm not going to lie to you. So here we go. We're going to go final game of the episode, very fast. Derby lining up in the 5-3-2. Playmaker Hideo Tosho Natakata in midfield. Dean Sturridge and Paolo Wongchop. That is a dangerous front line. What did these guys get from last year? 7 goals for Wongchop, 9 the year before. And 13 and 12 for dangerous Dean Sturridge. The better of the Sturridges. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there is a huge amount of bias because he would go on to play for Wolves. But, you know, I've said it now and I'm not taking it back and I'm not editing it out. This is a chance for John Hartson. I'm seeing way too much of Wongchop's name. I'm not going to lie. Oh, and Willie Howie, not even sure who he is. Decently rated. He's come via Partick Thistle, who's part of Newcastle's relegation side, and he has put them 1-0 up at this glorious Pride Park. Right, and we have done nothing there. So we're going to go down to fast for this second half. Come on, guys. This is poor. This is really poor. I'm tempted. I've never done this before. But I want these guys further on. Luna is having a stinker, so he is going to come off. Gerard on. So we're kind of matching up what they are doing. I'm going to keep it like this. I'm going to go long again and see, can this at least get us a shot in the next 20 minutes? Richard Wright does well to parry it. So at least Wright is having a good game because he's on an 8. But this change of tack, this change of system, or pushing, it's not a change of system, is it? I've told the guys to get further forward. It's doing nothing for us. I'm thinking it's big funnel time. We've not used this in so long, but we are getting absolutely overrun, it feels like. Long chop strikes out with fury. If that goes in before we get back, I will be annoyed. So I'm going to put Keats in the holding midfield role. I want... Yeah, we've got them. So let's switch Clement out. So I need... I've got completely the wrong subs for this, though. That is the problem. I'm going to bring Rudy on for Hughes. Hughes is the better of my two strikers here, but I'm going to take him off. So I'm going to tell Gerard to push on. Rudy right. Dalou is going to stay in midfield due to my complete lack of options and the consideration that I was going to move to this system. But there we go. I'll tell you what, Warner can play midfield actually, can I? Yes, he can. Look, let's spin these around. That's a better system. And let's see, can this get us a shot? Now, at one stage last year, Derby were at the top of the Premier League. It must have been early on, but if you look at their best positions, first was one of them. So, because they would end up being 20-odd points behind Man United along with everyone else. And we've still not had a shot. Gerrard is inside the area, but James bravely collects the ball, and that's not a shot neither. He's overran that. Now, I feel like we really need Mullins and Keats back together. I know Keats is back today. He's on a 6, so it's not fantastic. But look, they've had 17 shots. Now, I didn't think things were going to be easy, and things have been pretty tough. We are 18th, so, you know, we are in the relegation spots, and we're already 2 points behind the little group ahead of us. But considering we've opened with Derby, who are second, Man United, who were last year's champions, and then Blackburn, who, you know, have drawn every game, I don't feel like that is terrible. I'm not panicking yet, is what I'm getting at. We've got away at Sunderland, League Cup versus Reading, surrounded by Middlesbrough, and then we've got Wimbledon, Wolves, and Watford. Wimbledon, Wolves, and Watford, I'm thinking we'll probably come back from, because it's probably going to be the final season. I want to show you guys as much as you want to see, but this is probably going to be Friday's episode. Maybe we'll fire it out into a fourth game with Norwich, or we'll have a think about that. So let me know what you think of the progress so far. Let me know what you think is the problem, or anything that you maybe want us to suggest. If only we were up in Scotland, we'd be challenging the big two after our successes in pre-season. But like I said, it's not disastrous. So 1 goal, 2 goals even so far, got a point. Narrow defeats, the 2 that we've had. I'm looking for, when we get into the more established run of games that we can maybe start to pick up some points as long as we can keep things going. We do still have 10 million, and this is my short list, so let me refilter that, but let's go on to, there's Frank Lampard, look, there's Frankie, unhappy, 2.9 million, wants to move to a bigger club, wants to be playing with Ipswich, and this is the players for sale list. So we've got Elvilton. Oh no, he's terrible though, isn't he? I got very excited there. Nicola Amoruso, is he going to be better? So maybe the problem is that we don't have enough Nicola Amoruso in our team. He's 4.1 million, so we could afford him pretty easily. And he's got great jumping, but man, so-so heading. It's more than so-so, that's unfair. But if there's anyone in there that you're thinking that's the answer to your problems, feel free to shout out. But for the time being, I'm just going to see how we can keep going forward and how we can keep progressing. Thank you, and I'll see you on Friday.